Mr. E. Oh, yeah. What's up, everybody? Happy Saturday. Thanks for joining us on the brand new Championship Wrestling presented by Pro Shingle. Today was awesome. We'll talk all about it right here on the live reaction. And I am Dustin Starr coming to you live from the wrestling capital of the world, Memphis, Tennessee. What's up, Lamb? How are you? Awesome Saturday so far. What a show. So we actually had four matches in 1 hour, plus promos and highlight packages and stuff. Man, it's just the fastest hour in pro wrestling. So thanks for joining us, everybody. Let's talk about it. What was your favorite part of today's episode? Or if you have any questions regarding the future and new tapings and live events and such, put them right there in the chat. We could talk some Saturday morning wrestling. And then, of course, next week's card was already announced at the end of today's show. Another just absolutely loaded show. Lamb says, hope you get fine. Hope you guys are too. What do you think about Ice Williams rejecting Jamie Iveen's offer? That's a great question, because that was a big storyline as we were leading into the pandemic and then came to a screeching halt. That was one of the last matches that we saw Danny Limelight and Ice Williams in. And I said it on the show, I don't know that thing is over with just yet. So I know that Jamie Iovine really wants to recruit Ice Williams, especially since his upper class fell apart. But I don't know that Ice Williams tearing up that business card is just going to be the end of it. So we'll have to see. Joe, what's up? Glad you got your chat working. Yeah, Danny had just returned from injury, and you could see that bump on his shoulder. And if you'll go and you'll like and follow United Wrestling Network, there was an episode of The Push just a couple of weeks ago where I and senior referee Nick Bonanno interviewed Danny Limelight Rivera and talked about that match and just how impressive it was and all that good stuff. So we talked about that. But I don't think it's over between Jamie Iovine and Ice Williams. Thunder Rosa. What'd you guys think of Thunder Rosa today? I'm personally a big fan of Thunder Rosa. I follow her on social media. I believe it's at Thunder Rosa 22. Yeah, thanks for being here, Mr. E. We got Mr. E. We got Joe. We have Lamb. Quite a few others. I can't see the exactly who all's in here. Let me go to live chat. But anyway, more awesome stuff coming up next week. She's a beast. I love her in-ring work. Kurt, present and accounted for. So today, we'll just run through the card and you guys tell me what you think. What do you think about Levi Shapiro and Buddy Royal feud? This will end in a submission match for sure. I totally agree. That's another one of those feuds and storylines that kind of came to a little bit of a halt. But here in the coming weeks, we're going to see Levi Shapiro versus Buddy Royal in a #1 contenders match for the United Television title. And then we're going to see Levi Shapiro in action along with Buddy Royal. Let's see the hair. You should be able to see the hair. One of my pet peeves is cutting my hair off in pictures and in selfies. Don't do that. But anyway, we started out with Ray Rosas, or the new Ray Rosas, which I interviewed him on the United Wrestling Network just a couple of weeks back. What's up, buddy?
What's up?
Brady Starr in the background over here making faces, trying to mess me up. But we had Ray Rosas against Happy Man, and that was the one and only appearance from Happy Man. I agree, Happy Man is hilarious. I thought it was funny. And I think somebody in the chat said that it had to be some sort of a joke or something. And it kind of was. I mean, come on. It was Breast Cancer Awareness Month. We had pink ropes, so why not have Happy Man from Happy Galaxy? But But anyway, Ray Rosas, he stuck his, opened up his big mouth and stuck his foot in there. And Bateman came out and answered the open challenge and whooped Ray Rosas' butt. So that's what you get. And for some reason during that whole thing, Maria said sometimes your big mouth gets you in big trouble, and just looks at me. Like, what did I do? So we had Levi Shapiro versus Adriel Noctis from Wasted Youth. And Buddy Royal, of course, getting involved with that. So these guys are at each other. They broke up as the classic connection. Howdy Price was very short and sweet today. You never see Howdy Price not take advantage of having a microphone live on television. But today was one of those rare times. Thunder Rosa seemed like she handled pretty easily Viva Van, and I don't mean any disrespect by that, but man, Thunder Rosa was tough today, brother. She was tough today. Yeah, right. He was quiet today. That's right. Howdy Price was pretty quiet. And then, of course, we had our main event, Danny Limelight Rivera versus Ice Williams. And I do think that both of these guys are getting a big push, especially when the tapings return. Ice Williams is a guy, you can't teach height. He's got height, athletic ability. I'm not sure what his promo was, but okay, cool. And then, of course, Danny Limelight Rivera is very, very smooth in the ring. And what a match. What a match. That was one of the matches that we talked about during the interview with him. So, and then the whole Jamie Iovine recruiting Ice Williams. I'm pretty sure that we'll see a new faction from Jamie Iovine when we get back going, and that's a whole nother topic. So did you guys hear what David Marquez had talked about earlier this week? And he also posted a picture in studio at the Ocean View Pavilion. So growing up, would you or Maria have wanted to grow up to be a princess or a movie star? Probably a princess. The only reason that she got involved in wrestling was for the television aspect. And then anybody that's kind of performed in front of a live crowd, once you do it one time, it's like you're hooked. And so then we just became this tag team together. And so, anyways, David Marquez was at the Ocean View Pavilion as early as yesterday. And so the caption was, "And we're back." So it looks like very, very soon in the coming weeks, a date has not officially been announced, but we will be back in production and having new matches. Now, just wanted to let you guys know that each and every week we are brand new. So our shows are written and designed and filmed specifically for you guys. So myself and Maria are in studio. I'm writing the content based off of what you guys want to see and what you tell me each and every week. That's why the chat is fun, and that's why these, live streams are very fun. And then our editor, Evan, has done a great job at helping put together these highlight packages and different things. And you're going to see more of that coming up to where we're going to hear and see new content and such. So anyways, we're all working very, very hard. But the big thing is we're going to have these storylines and these matches. They're going to continue, and it's going to happen really, really soon. Any questions about that? Joe says, "So cool, I can't wait to see it." Mr. E, you guys do a great job. Thanks, man. David Marquez actually polled the roster to see who was available and who wanted to be there, or whatnot. And it was overwhelming response, of course. People are ready to get back. Now, I do not know if there will be an audience or not. Hey Jake, how are you, man? Welcome to the live stream. I don't know if there will be a live audience or not. That is strictly going to be dependent on probably the state of California or whatever regulations that are in that part of the area in Port Hueneme. Now on the Cali team, who does the creative? So basically the creative, there's a booking team and all that good stuff. Now over here on Championship Wrestling presented by Pro Shingle, of course we go along as far as the syndication, but soon, and just like now, we're coming up with our own content as well. That way we can differentiate the two brands. And you'll see very, very soon, at some point, you're going to see the premiere of something new with Championship Wrestling. Joe says that's fantastic news. The Nexus 2, hey, welcome. I'm doing awesome today, Jake. It's Saturday. That means it's bell time in the 901. Did you catch today's episode? We are looking for new number one contenders for Dan Joseph's United Television title. Who do you think is in line next? I'll ask you guys the same question. Who's in line for Dan Joseph's United Television title? Next week, we're going to see him win that title, which was an awesome match. Jake, my boy Rhino. So, yeah, Ryan J. Barber, J stands for phenomenal, has a Twitch channel, Rhino JB, where he has Artemisia Championship Wrestling. And one of the arena setups is Championship Wrestling, presented by Pro Shingle, and Championship Wrestling from Hollywood. And so it's super cool, and he's going to be featured on this program coming up. He's a great friend of mine and also just an extremely talented guy. So he'll be featured on the show coming up too. Actually, we were just texting. That's awesome. So welcome to the program. I know Zicky Dice has joined his Twitch stream, Ryan Barber's Twitch stream. Lindsay Dorado, did I say that right? Anyways, lots of wrestlers hook up with Ryan on Twitch. Maybe each week you guys could have a star do a current promo to add to the show. Yeah, we've definitely done that. You saw Anthony Idol last week. I've got a special interview coming up with Pork Chop Cash that's actually video. You're going to be seeing that coming up. I've been in touch with Superstar Bill Dundee. Been in touch with Coco Beware. So there's a lot of potential with these classic Memphis guys. But then you're going to see a whole lot more stuff coming. And if you don't follow United Wrestling Network, you definitely should. Their new interviews and videos are just fantastic, and so you'll see some of those coming up on our program as well. So any other questions, guys? Just wanted to get on here and talk wrestling each and every week. After our brand new premiere of our episode, Championship Wrestling presented by Pro Shingle, I come on here and do a YouTube live, answer questions, chat up some wrestling. Anything else? Cody and Brandy Rhodes are going to be on the program next week. Not sure if I mentioned that. Myself and my Maria, we had them in studio just a couple of months back when AEW was in town, and it was a lot of fun. It's not like a wrestling promo, and it's not like a fight breaks out in studio or anything like that. It's basically a real live, sit-down interview. So we'll take a look at some of that as well on next week's show. Lamb says, Levi Shapiro, co-host of Championship Wrestling, presented by West Coast Pro Wrestling versus Dustin Starr. A host versus host. Now, one thing is he cannot use that claw because it will mess up my hair. Host versus host. Mr. E says, Dustin, what in your opinion is the key to create new stars that can bridge the old fans like myself to the current scene? I think you have to incorporate those stars that we grew up watching, not necessarily put them in the ring, but incorporate them so that way we can draw those, old school diehard fans, draw them in, and while they're there seeing their favorites from the past, they can meet and potentially see their favorites of today and of the future. And so I think that's how myself and my Maria were, were able to get fans here in Memphis and kind of all around, is working with Handsome Jimmy Valiant, Superstar Bill Dundee, Jerry the King Lawler, Jerry Jarrett, Lance Russell, Dave Brown, Dutch Mantell, Wolfie D, just all the classic Memphis wrestling stars. And you guys that are from the Mid-South or keep up with, classic Memphis wrestling, you know exactly who those names are. They're all, very prominent Memphis wrestling Hall of Famers. But we were able to work with them. And so when people come out to see their faves and we're beating them up, that helps. So I think that's the key, is incorporating some of the old stuff with the new stuff. But what you don't need is a 70-year-old man in the ring wrestling. I will say that, and I'll just leave that right there. I remember that. It was very cool, says Joe. What's your favorite food? Jake also says Jim Cornette. He just randomly says Jim Cornette. What's your favorite food? I eat a lot of grilled chicken. I don't know if that's my favorite. My favorite food's got to be a big old burger.
Probably steak and lobster.
Steak and lobster? Maria just yells steak and lobster. I'll take it. Steak and lobster, I'd eat that every meal. Mr. E says Zicky and Idol and others I relate to more because they remind me of old stars and styles. That's right. That's exactly right. That's what Zicky Dice does on purpose. Everything he does is 1980s. Even his, obviously his new stuff is all 1980s. So my Maria is standing here in a bikini in front of me, which means that's time to go. It's time to go to the pool. Literally. Typical Saturday, I guess. Joe says time to sign off. Mr. E, when do we get Maria on the show? Maria, yeah. When do you live stream with me?
I don't know.
And they say not just because of the bikini, it's because they want to talk to you.
Yeah, right.
We'll have to get her in here very, very soon. But all right, guys and gals, thank you so much for joining me here today. Fun always, each and every week, talking pro wrestling. Don't forget, on Monday at noon, it's a brand new Championship Wrestling podcast presented by Be Free CBD. And then, of course, follow us so you can stay up to date and informed. There's all sorts of just great content out there at CW30 Wrestling. And then next Saturday, of course, on CW30 Memphis and right here on YouTube Premiere, it'll be a brand new episode of Championship Wrestling presented by Pro Shingle, featuring Dan Joseph getting his opportunity at the United Television title with Royce Isaacs. We also have the monstrous Heritage Champion Watts defending that Heritage title against Stroke Daddy on Father's Day weekend, no less. Stroke Daddy Ricky Starks gets an opportunity at the title. Cody and Brandy Rhodes will be on the show as well. I am going to get outside. I'm going to enjoy some sun. I know I'm forgetting one last match that I had mentioned. Yes, Sandra Moon versus Lacey Ryan. Women's division steals the show each and every week. And last week's episode already, I believe, has over 10,000 views, which is awesome. Thank you guys so much. And then also one of our feature matches, if you haven't seen it, Simone Cherie versus Heather Monroe. I think it's over 15,000 views right now. So the women's division is absolutely killing it each and every week right here on the program. And so we'll try to feature the women more and more. So let us know who your favorites are. But anyways, I'll catch you guys next week and I'll see you Monday on the podcast. And until then, so long, everybody.